What's up, you guys? Ed from Kansas City, and thank you guys for tuning in again. Thank you for watching and looking at this video and subscribing, and I appreciate the comments. I kind of want to do a little bit of review, more in depth on this particular website called propertyroom.com, guys. I've been on this site for several years, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. Did my first order about a month ago, and I kind of promoted the name up there when we put out a new site, and I kind of want to come back and show you guys after we've gotten all of our stuff in what is the condition and what do we think now about the company overall. And so this is going to be basically an honest review of the company since we have shopped with him. So, uh, let's get into it. So the first thing, this is a propertyroom.com, and as you can see in the title up there, they say police, online police auctions and more. So what you basically have here, you have a variety of sellers that use this site to sell on, just as they do, as they would any other liquidator or auction website. So that's nothing surprising. So everything is not necessarily on here sold by propertyroom.com, as we will see. And so the that being said, you have various states of conditions of things. Uh, this is something I want to look in. I haven't looked at it yet. I want to see if I can check it out, see if there's anything on there, if it's worth even looking at. So I want to go over the facts with you guys about this site. One thing about this particular site, they're not really upfront and forthright, real transparent about their listings. Um, the pictures of the site are going to be very. Me and Carmen was wondering if this was going to be a real Gucci or not. But the pictures on the site are going to be excellent. When you're going to see things like this, uh, certified diamonds and blue sapphires. Well, they may be certified, but by a company that is not reputable. So they could be certified by some third party, or first of all, you have to know who the seller is, and then uh, so let's do that right quick. I'm just gonna click that over, and we're gonna check out who the seller is if it's the same one that I got my stuff from. So it is Auction Gallery. It sucks, guys, that I can't use my um, my thing. So Auction Gallery is going to use. Now they're going to say something like this here. MSRP of $8,000. That is going to be the disclaimer right there. It's going to say for insurance purposes only, which lets you know, guys know that it's not really valued at $8,000 by no means whatsoever. It will probably have a. Now, here's another thing. Your grade of stones. Here's another disclaimer that they're probably going to use. That is a indicator. If, as you guys know, we have purchased. I'm going to go there. We've purchased one of the rings from them. Let's go there and check it out. This one right here. So let's look at the listing. All right. So we purchased this one. We won this one for a little over 700 bucks. The rings here, these things here are going to be I1, I2, I3 stones, which are going to be your least stone. You're going to be the stones with the least amount of clarity. Now, they're not going to disclose on here whether the stones are going to be lab made or natural diamonds. It did have a, and as you see, there's the same. I looked up this company. after we won that particular auction, and they did have some complaints, and we're going to look at some of those as well. We took the ring, as you can say, as you can see here, insurance purposes again for that estimation. Certificate with MSRP will be included for insurance purposes only, and it had MSRP of 58. When you get these particular rings, guys, if you ever bid on something like this, you got to really keep in mind that they're not going to be by any means close to that sort of MSRP. So this one's already, as you can see, this one is already at $585, and the reserve is still not met. So this company could be trying to get about $700 or $1,000 out of this ring, based on what they are trying to estimate that it's worth. Now I want to go back up and look at their little certificate here. This certificate here, guys, for insurance purposes only, this actually means nothing. This is AMG. This is some company that they have used, the particular seller is using to validate or certify their stones and their jewelry. So that's not a reputable company. So you can't necessarily by any means go off of that as an evaluation or a estimate of what this ring would actually be worth. As I said, with the ring that we purchased, which is this one here, we purchased it, and I think we had one jeweler that said, and we're going to get it evaluated professionally. We had in-house appraisal, and we had one person that said it was probably worth what we paid. One jeweler that we went to got a lot of good stuff. He said, you paid about the right price, $700. That's what they probably would sell for. But he clarified that you're probably not going to get that in return as far as selling it. It's likely that you might not, because that's probably what someone else a jeweler would sell it for, and not someone else that, a person would sell for, individual instead of a business. So it was cute. It did look good. The pictures are breathtaking. They do a great job of the pictures. Even in the pictures, you can kind of see a lot of the dark colors in the gems, which do let you know that they're not going to have the highest quality by any means, and so they're not going to carry the MSRP that this company likes to throw out there. So when you're dealing with a company like this, PropertyRoom.com, this is a company that you're going to have to really proceed with caution. And as I said, I want to go to some of my auctions right quick. I'm going to back up right quick, get rid of some of these tabs, and go back. So as we see right here, there's a one right there that they got is at $550. And it's not even met the reserve yet. I can't remember at what price point in the auction when I bid on that one, what the actual when the reserve was met. I think when I started bidding on it at about 380, 350, 400, I'm thinking the reserve was moved. All right. So here's the deal with this company here. Now, before I show you this one here, this Bose headset, I want to look at some stuff that I won and kind of show. And basically what I'm doing right here, guys, is I really want to show you guys the transparency that the company is using to advertise or describe and list their items. So these shoes came in. Let's look. We're going to look at just a few of these things. I did not. I didn't show you guys those, but I want to look at the pictures and see what they look like in comparison to the actual. And they look pretty much just like the pictures, guys. They really did. So I want to look at the description right quick and see what they were saying about it. It says, good condition, visibly worn, has scratches and a little dirt. It really didn't have a little dirt. It really didn't look. I mean, it had wear, but not where you can really call it visibly wear. Uh, so overall, these particular Jordans were really good condition, guys. Uh, so they were pretty good condition. I didn't necessarily have any complaints with them at all. And customers, I'm selling them. I won them for about what did I pay 20 for that, and we won it for 88. So we won a little over $100, and we're selling them for like 130. So that's with that one. Now let's go to some of these items here. The iPhone, because I want to show you guys what this company does here. Here we go. The iPhone that we paid over $300 for. Well, the iPhone's 283 plus the shipping turned it into about 300 and something dollars plus the fee, your premium or your fee, your buying fee. So we paid about 300 and something dollars for this iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, here the phone is right here, guys, along with the flip. So the flip is here too, guys. So we have the flip there. It's my dialing, guys. As you can see, my dialing there. All right, so we have this here. Here's your Apple iPhone 11 Pro Max. The carrier is T-Mobile. If we look at the general stuff on here, your carrier is T-Mobile. Network's T-Mobile. Carrier's T-Mobile network not available. No SIM card in there. IMEI. Now, here's how they framed it up. Now, on this particular site, what you're going to notice for the most part is a lot of the phones that they sell on here, and I'm going to go to them. A lot of the phones that they sell on this site, such as the Apple phones. So I can find some for you right quick. Let me put 75 here. So we want to look for Apple iPhone. Let's look. Let's see if we have one. Let's just go with that one. Let's see what's up with it. 256 gigabyte iPhone 8 Plus. All right. This one is fair conditioner. Item has cracks toward the bottom of the screen. Fully functional. Networks unlocked. It says the network is unlocked. Phone only. Charger not included. So that's really not one that I would really be looking at, but I want to find one that I would be looking at. Sorry guys, I'm using one hand for one thing and another hand for another one. So I don't think we have anything on that screen. So let me get out of there and go back. See if I see another iPhone. There's probably going to be some down here somewhere, guys. Trust me and believe it. I think you got, let's go to the next page. So what I want to find is what the ones they normally sell, the iPhones that they normally sell are going to have an activation lock like this. This is going to be the norm right here. Click this, guys. Sorry, I apologize, guys, for the. So this is going to be your norm right here. Such as these as well. Let's look at that one. And let's look at this one. All right. And let's look at this 13 Pro. So, let's look at these phones, guys. Has an activation lock and cannot be activated. Okay, so first impression, if you know anything about electronics or about phones and like that, when you think of this here, you figure, okay, somebody, whoever the seller is probably Property Room because it doesn't have a company at the bottom otherwise. So however this phone got here, carrier locked, unknown, Physical condition good with scratches, powers on, displays, response to touch. IME number will not be provided for phone sold as parts. So it says it has an activation lock on it. Um, most of them going to come from New York. Um, so this particular phone here has an activation lock on it, and it says um, the thing we want to look at is what are they describing about it. When you think of something like that, you think, okay, somebody left their however this company got a hold of this device, it came with somebody's uh, account on it. Now you got to care pictures. This here is not returnable. You're not going to be able to return this no matter what. And I'm going to speak a little bit more on that in a second. So that's one of them. Here's another one. This one does not have a now keep in mind this is the norm here, guys. This is normally what they sell here. They normally have locked accounts on them for whatever reason. That means that there's an Apple account on them. So unless you can somehow get that Apple account off of there, you really just have some parts for real. Maybe you want to use the screen or replace a broken phone or something like that, or that's pretty much going to be the end of it, the basis of it, unless you know somebody who can really manage or who's trained enough, that's tech savvy enough that can deal with something like that. Now, here we have another one. The norm is going to be the activation lock. Here's another one that says carrier unlock. It's going to tell you, is it an activation lock? It's going to say no activation lock. It's going to give you the IMEI number. It's going to tell you down here that it's your responsibility as the buyer to check that IME number to figure out if that phone activation eligibility is allowed. All sales of fine cannot be for any reason. So you're not going to be able to return this phone for any reason. They don't tell you. They tell you it's not locked. It doesn't have an Apple account on it. They tell you the condition: mark, scratches, scuffs, screen is scratched, tested, powers on, response to touch. So you would look at this phone, you would think, okay, we're pretty much getting a pretty good phone. This one's coming from California. Carrier unknown. Here's the deal, guys. They know enough to list it that it doesn't have a locked account on it because it opens right up. Obviously, when they power it on, it opens right up. So the device opens up when they power it on, and therefore they know that it doesn't have a Apple account on it. But that's not necessarily the case too, because sometimes it can be on there, but when you go to basically, I guess when they dug in it deeper than just powering it on and then getting into a menu screen or something like that. But here's the point I want to make, guys. Just because they're telling you there's no activation lock on this device does not mean that this phone does not have issues. They're telling you something right down here is the customer responsibility to contact the service provider as to the eligibility using your IMEI. This right here, guys. Okay, so here's another one. Let's look at another one. This one has an activation lock, just like the last one we've seen. That's another iPhone X, 56 gigabytes. And then here's another one that has activation lock. Good with cracks. So let's look at the one we purchased, the iPhone 11 Pro. It is similar to the listing that we just saw, where they saw it's the customer responsibility. All right, so here's the deal with this company, guys. They're going to sell you an iPhone when it's time to look in it. We got this iPhone, and when we look up the IMEI on this iPhone, this is the one right here that they listed. This is what we purchased. That auction's closed. We won that one. When you look at the description in here, you can look up the IMEI in here. And when you look up that IMEI from some third-party website or whatever, or whoever other than using Apple, because Apple normally uses the Apple security to look it up. And then you can probably use the IMEI as well. But when you look up this information, the information, the only information you're going to get back is that the phone has been replaced. If you don't know what that means, then you don't know what that means. Kind of like double said that. But anyway, What that means is, guys, the phone has been replaced. That means somehow in the process of this phone being purchased with the carrier T-Mobile, whoever they purchased it from, whether it be Walmart or T-Mobile themselves or Amazon, wherever this phone was shipped from, at some point it was lost or intercepted, or whatever the situation may be. But this phone was reported as lost or missing, and as a result, they shut down the carrier and the network part, so that now this phone cannot be activated. So if you put a SIM card in it, it's not going to respond to the SIM card. The SIM card is locked. It says right there, the device might be restricted to the original carrier and or have certain capabilities limited. Contact the provider for more information. But it can't be activated. We put a SIM card in it, doesn't it won't work. It won't accept it. The only thing you're going to get in there is the SOS. Now it can be used for using it as internet or something like that, where you want to use it as an internet or just have an account on it, use it for gaming, for whatever the reason may be. But you're not going to use it as a cellular mobile phone calling, texting phone without the internet. So you're not going to find this information on here. You see what I'm saying, guys? If they're telling individuals to check the IMEI to see what the phone's restrictions are, or if there is any, then they did it as well, guys. They did it as well. Because it's a difference between when you list a phone, it's a difference in the listing power of a phone that has been checked, that is in great condition, because this one was good with scratches. So it was really good condition. There's a difference when you list a item that you know is working properly, that does not have it's not reported lost or stolen. And I even went to T-Mobile, and I also called Apple, and there's nothing they could do about it. It's nothing you can do about it. It's basically you just have a phone that you cannot use for service. But you're not going to find that on here. They're not going to disclose it. They're not going to be transparent. But you better believe they know that the phone, just like the other phone that we saw on here, whichever one it was that we saw, that it said, which one was that? I don't think it was that one. We had the one phone that we just saw that said, we had one phone here that we just looked at that said that it was capable of being activated. So let's check it out. This first phone that we saw here, where this is a different seller. This may not be the propertyroom.com listing it, or maybe this seller down here that says electronics and uniques flea market. But the point I'm making is this here, guys. It's the iPhone 8 that they're trying to sell for $90 something, which you can get this phone, iPhone 8, you can get it for brand new for about $140, to be honest, if not, or you can get a grade A for probably $100. So the thing about this one is they say this one is fully working, fully functional, it is unlocked, all of that. It does have a crack on it. So it's fully disclosed somewhat there, but when you get it, that does not necessarily mean that don't mean necessarily anything, because all they did is show you the picture of a back of the phone, so it's not even fully listed. But the point I'm making is, let me get rid of some of these tabs. All right. So the point we're making is that when you look at a phone, it's when you're dealing with Apple, the main thing you're thinking about is, even when I go to purchase Apples, I'm looking for the activation lock. That's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a phone. I'm not necessarily looking for the device to be reported stolen or been replaced and things like that, uh, because you're buying them from a company. So the company is not being transparent as far as uh, if the phone is actually usable or not. And that's why they put these little disclaimers down here to cover their sales. So let's look at the other phone that we got. This one here. This one, this was the one, the Google Pixel. It had the Google account locked and cannot be activated. It's sold for parts. Okay, I got a friend of mine who he his job is he unlocks these devices. So that was not a problem at all. Um, that's not a problem at all. Uh, so we have cellular service. We have everything on here that we need to. Hanging with Kelly and Debbie. All right, so that's another auction site we're going to be talking about later too. But so we were able to take care of this, guys. And as you know, this particular phone cost us $200 and something dollars. It cost us $211 plus the premium fee and the shipping, which came up to be about what, 250, something like that. This is the Apple phone with the wrong one. I want this one. It came to be about 250. Now, they said IMEI is not listed on all this here. But here's the thing you want to look at on this, guys. This phone here, they're going to tell you that the condition is poor. They say condition is poor. Condition is really not poor at all as far as physical cosmetics, because as you can see, the phone looks pretty good. It's not a bad looking phone at all. It's not a bad looking phone at all. The charging port is not really firm and solid, so I have to be careful with that. It's not loose or anything for real, but I can tell it's just not really strong as you would with a really good new phone or a hardly used phone. It is wireless charging, so that's another thing I could utilize. As far as the condition, it's not bad condition at all. It does have some little bumps here and there, as you guys can see, some little dings here and there, which comes with devices that fold up like this and can be dropped and stuff on their edges. The actual everything else about the phone is good. Now, what they don't disclose in this here is that this back window, this notifications window, it does not display. It doesn't bright up, it doesn't light up, it doesn't do anything. So that didn't work on it. So basically, my hopes with this flip, the thing about it is, even though I was able to get the Google account lock, I still could have ran into a problem with them talking about the carrier locked or unknown, because the actual carrier on this phone is not locked. The carrier is unlocked. This device will accept any SIM card, so it's an unlocked device. Whereas they got it, the carrier locked. Where it's not a locked device, it is an unlocked device. So they didn't really describe it accurately there. They didn't say anything about the notification back window being broke, so are not working. So other than that, I don't know if it has it in here. Name, battery. I was looking for the carrier on this. General, let's look at connection. I don't think it's there, guys. But it is multi-carrier. It is unlocked. But the thing I'm saying, they didn't describe the phone. So the thing about it is that when you purchase something like this, um, you're not going to get a very reliable, dependable description of the device. So, like I said, we got two devices here. This one, um, I could have paid the same price for one of these. This is just the first generation of the Z Flip. I could have paid the same price for this, um, for one. Basically, I could have got the Galaxy Z Flip 2 or 3 for about the same price or $50 more or something like that. But, uh, that was my mistake there, you know. So, um, yeah, I want to go to the last thing on here. So, like I said, and then when you look at the rings that they advertise on here, these are going to be a lot of just really not so great rings. The watches will be pretty, they're nice. May have a hard time getting, anything really above these prices that we paid for them. We've had quite a few inquiries in the flea market about them, but nothing serious. We have had quite a few looks at the jury as well, but nothing serious yet. We know that the holidays are coming and that will change. Now, I wanted to go to the Better Business Bureau, and I want you guys to look at some of the reviews on the Better Business Bureau about the company. And it's going to be in line with what I kind of found out while I was bidding on stuff. They do reply quite a bit on here uh, to uh, the complaints. And they are uh, Better Business Bureau, they are rated, which basically means that the company puts a good forth effort in trying to correct the problems. But it doesn't correct a problem if you report a problem and they block you from the site. That necessarily, you may have corrected the problem, but you have, uh, taken away that person's ability to be able to ever buy anything on your site again. Here's one customer says, uh, won an auction of an advertised 10K gold necklace paid with taxes. The necklace was fake in return. 2 months, no refund, and email. All right. We sincerely apologize. A full refund was processed on the 17th. The buyer can expect a full refund of $1,000. That's deep. That's fake. That's crazy. There's a person that reported that did that. Now you guys can look on here for your own stuff and figure out. Here's another person that they said, I cannot access my account with proper room as they closed it. They will request, if you order with these guys, they will request for any significant amount of money. They will request to have a talk with you and your bank when you go to making purchases, just to verify. It's just a verification process, not really a problem at all. All you do is call your bank and make sure that your shipping and your billing address are the same, or if they're not, have your bank to verify that you are who you are, and that the information that you submitted to the company is accurate, as the bank is vouching for you or validating you. So yeah, so that's just the thing of calling your bank and then calling them on a three-way, on a conference type call, and then they can they'll unsuspend and unblock your account. Here's a person that ordered a watch. It said it was shipped 3 days ago. A week later, I sent an email asking for the item. 3 days later, they emailed me back saying that the item has shipped. 2 weeks later, they stated that the item was delivered. It wasn't. Okay. So the dispute on shipping. I want to get to some of the ones that. Here's one. I purchased a room to the auction. I've waited over 2 weeks. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said in one of my videos, guys, when you're getting those rings, uh, they will take some of those cheap ones, and even some of the other ones will take a while to get to you. So it led me and Carmen think that had to be some type of out of out of the continent buying place. I don't know why they're so slow at shipping. Maybe they're waiting for bulk shippings to go through or something like that. Uh, Locked out of my account after winning bids. After winning two separate bids, they locked me out of my account. It says no email existed. They do that. It's another one. Allows sellers to list, market, and conclude transaction of counterfeit and inappropriate described items. They are crooked. They are crooks who will steal your dollars. I was sold a coin on this website by a seller who had not been there long. I received a counterfeit coin from the seller. Upon notifying the company, they said they stand behind their seller despite my letting them know I'm a professional coin dealer trained in counterfeit detection. And then they got a lengthy reply. Said they were closed out of their account because of the abusive and demeaning online bullying and trolling conducted on the part of the buyer attached. They do respond. They really do. After bidding on articles of their auction and winning, they are now claiming they can't identify me and have locked me out of my account. Thousands of dollars. See attached photos. There are quite a few issues with this scamming company. Won a bunch of items. Then all of a sudden, 2 days later, the day I told them I was going to the hospital for a few weeks. So something happened there. I don't know. Another person that couldn't get into their account or something. Account doesn't exist, so they do lock you out of the account immediately. They did me the same way. I had to the next day I was just able to call them and call my bank, and everything was okay. And the person who was on the phone who handled the call on their end was really professional, polite, nothing alarming whatsoever, nothing disrespectful, just willing to help. Made the process a breeze, and even though I ran into a few bumps, she still made sure that my items were able to be released, and I constantly had my access to the account while I was changing over my billing to match my home address. So she was great, no problem at all. Here's a person says, saw a product online at auction, assumed I was buying the product as pictured. The picture revealed was a different from the different size. Please forward the address so I can show photos. So they sold me a brick, which is a phone that cannot be used due to it being locked. It was wrong. The website is flooded with them. They sold me a brick. Ordered through the auction 3/17/20, which is a phone that cannot be used at all due to it being locked. It is wrong. The website is flooded. Now they're going to come back and tell them that the phone was listed and described as locked, and therefore it's that person's fault. And I think that this person was like, it's still wrong that you listed it. I kind of disagree with that. But the point of the matter is, yeah, they're gonna sell lock phones, and the I think a deeper problem is when you claim that they're unlocked or they're usable, or you don't say that they have an activation lock, but they're reported as missing or stolen or replaced, and therefore they're just as good as locked. I did call them. I did put in a return for the Apple phone, and the message I got back was that um, the message I got back is basically a description in the phone that says, um, I basically got back, all sales are finals and cannot be returned. That's they standing behind that there. It doesn't matter whatever, you're not going to get a return on those items. So it's really kind of at their own discretion what they're going to allow to be returned and for what reason. So So the thing I'm saying is that the reason why I want to kind of like go over this again is so if anybody is really looking to order from this site, if you're gonna order jewelry, please keep in mind that it's not going to be necessarily worth a whole lot. So be mindful how much you pay for the actual item. And then if you intend to order electronics, uh, proceed also with even more caution because you don't know if everything is going to be working with it. Uh, so just be mindful of that. So let's look at this item here. It's a Bose headset here. Mm. Hmm. So now, um, brand Bose, model unknown. Model unknown. It looks like a Bose. If I look at it, it is a Bose. One, two. I can't see if there's another button on the other side. So it's a comfort, quiet comfort, 35. So for about 120 bucks, something like that. Depending on where you buy it at. Condition's good. Visible worn, has scratches, a little dirty. Like the same thing my shoes said. The thing about it is, guys, you don't know if it's going to be functional. They do have a disclaimer here letting you know it is sold as is and untested. Despite whether they could have tested it or not, guys, they just are not going to disclose that. So you're on your own when it comes to when it comes to um, when it comes to those items. You're on your own as far as uh, checking it. And like I said, the watches we bought, they were brand new, but uh, you know, they're not necessarily some really good winners. Uh, so when you order on here, I would just say just kind of be, if you're gonna order on here, if you see something that might be vintage or like these, they have certain things, arts on here. Uh, don't expect them necessarily to be the real authenticated as you might suspect. You may not get a return just because they say that they are authorized or they've been signed by this person and that person. It doesn't make it true. So you really, excuse me, you really have no way of knowing. You're on your own, basically. You can get it and you can be like, okay, it doesn't work. You know, like Marilyn Monroe, 3 piece. What is this? What are they trying to say about this? All right. Make any Marilyn phone happy includes a matted limited edition lithograph of Marilyn, and it is entitled Marilyn on Subgate Grade. Mouse pad. A license plate holder. So I don't know, guys. What's the dealio with that? I don't know. I guess for somebody who loves Marilyn Monroe, but they're not trying to say it's necessarily authentic or something, authentic or whatever. And they don't combine shipping, guys. All those little rings that we purchased from this seller that could have easily been combined into one little package that we paid over $140 shipping for those 10 or 13 rings. They could have been put in one envelope and combined it, but they don't let you do that. So that's where they're making their money from, by um, getting that extra money from shipping. So as I was saying, guys, some of this stuff you're not going to be really able to authenticate. You really won't know it, and the process could be lengthy and really hard trying to find someone to really um, authenticate it for you. So that's going to be something that you're going to, basically do at your own risk. So something you're going to be doing at your own risk. Limited edition photography on paper, numbered and hand signed by photographer Robert Shear. Shear created this piece using his spirit shadows technique. So hand signed by this particular person. Here's the deal, guys. You guys don't know if you're actually getting a copy. Something that they are selling over and over and over and over again. It's not a one piece, it's a copy of just copies, numbered and hand signed. So that's the thing. You might think you're getting a one of a kind piece, and you're actually not. You're just getting something somebody had and they made copies of it somehow, or stamped a signature of this person on this particular item and are trying to pass it off as a signed copy. So those are things that you have to be careful of. As we've seen coins in the Better Business Bureau, the jury is always also going to be the gold. I would say the gold probably is going to be real. So if you intend to buy real jewelry on here, buy it for the gold. Don't buy it for the diamonds, because the diamonds are probably not going to have that the IS or SI whatever type of clarity. They're going to be the lowest grade clarity. I did want to look at this Gucci and see what that was about. All right, so here we got new inbox Gucci rectangular stainless steel men's watch retails for 19, almost 2 grand. Okay, so rectangular watch featuring diamante patterned inner dial, dated display at 6 o'clock, and signature red and green web emblem at 3 o'clock. This attests to nothing of the authenticity of it, guys. Uh, you would really have to see what else this person is selling. Here's the rest of the stuff this person is selling. A lot of glasses, a vintage pen, some nail polish. Looks like really mixed to have somebody to be selling a brand new Gucci watch, and then you look on here and you got this stuff here. Vogue women's optics, and so it doesn't really seem like they go together. Airsoft guns, and then there's this one, 4 days and 4 hours, and let me see, this one has 4 days 4 hours, so it's probably the same one. So it doesn't really seem like, I don't know if that's going to be real or not, guys. uh, that's going to be a something to be figured out. And I don't know how you can authenticate it just by this information here. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. If you do plan on bidding on stuff on this particular site, it is, so many sites are out to make money. We had some of those there. Uh, so many sites are out to make money, and they just are going to list things that are really at their advantage to sell it, and not necessarily like list something to uh, new condition, appears new, unused, and original box. Now this could be a good item here, guys. It's already at $138, which you can buy it for that price anyway. So let's look at that. Let's do a right click here. And let's do a web search. They already got the auction at 130 something. Let's hit shopping. And it is on sale. Best Buy has one model of them. I don't know if it's the same or not. This might be a different type. I think this is the one we're looking at here. $199. Somebody has it on Macari for $137. Walmart has it for $199. Another one has it on Macari $155. Bose has one. Is that the same one? That may be a different one. Refurbished. 169 on eBay. So, and then they have 24 bidders, and it's already at 141 bucks. It is $15 to ship, and you will pay your premium fee as well. And it's brand new. So, to resell it, you really wouldn't be worth wasting your time to buy it to resell it, and hopefully it is new. So, but that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So if you plan on looking on this site for any items or whatever, all I can say is do your homework. Do your homework, guys, because you just don't know what you're actually going to be getting. So do your due diligence. All right. So that is it, guys. I'm out. Thanks for viewing.